Hello and welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Dr. H. Alexander Rich. He is the Executive Director and Chief Curator of the Polk Museum of Art. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate your having me here.
I gotta ask first and foremost. Tell me a little bit of history about yourself, and tell me how that brought you to Polk County.
Well, I'm a native New Yorker, which I've learned since I moved to Florida. A lot of people claim to be New Yorkers. I mean, I'm a Manhattanite, so I was born on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. So I'm a native New Yorker, and I've been here in Polk County for 8 years. And I moved down from New York City to join the Florida Southern College faculty, where I'm still on faculty, and to be in charge of the art history program there. And that program has grown and grown over the past few years upon affiliation with the Polk Museum of Art. We have just completed 5 years since our affiliation between the college and the museum. And at that time of the affiliation in 2017, I came over first as curator, and then I became executive director and chief curator of the museum. And we split off a separate department from Florida Southern called the Department of Art History and Museum Studies, where we're giving students the opportunity to study art history, but also pursue paths and careers in the museum field.
As we were talking kind of pre-interview, I've been here since '97, and I've seen it all grow. Had the privilege to be in the Polk Museum of Art a couple times. For those that have never been, talk to me a little bit about the facility itself, and tell folks what they would see on any given day.
So the museum has this really incredible history. We were founded in 1966 by the Junior League of Women here in Lakeland, and we just celebrated our 56th birthday. And the museum itself started with children's art and actually wild animals or farm animals in the museum. So a totally different place than it is now as a fine art museum. And we became officially an art museum in the 1980s, and we became a Smithsonian affiliate museum in 2010. So we've transformed from this little regional museum into a Smithsonian affiliated museum. And now 56 years later, we have aiming to be an academic community museum. We have high-level exhibitions like the ones we'll talk about, I know today. We always offer free admission, which is really important, and we pride ourselves on that because we know we could charge admission at the door, but we want to make sure that nobody has any obstacle to having access to art and art experiences. And we think it's the same as, nobody would question free access to a library for reading literacy, and we think the same about visual literacy. We want people to really enjoy the museum and be able to learn about art and to take programs surrounding art and art history without any fear of being turned away at the door because you can't afford it. So we pride ourselves on that. And since we've become the Polk Museum of Art at Florida Southern College in 2017, we just keep growing and growing, and I'm really happy that we're now on the world map, given the exhibitions and programs that we're running.
As we were talking before, in the event you wanted to see fine art, as described, it was always a drive to St. Pete, to the Dolly, to Orlando. But you have an exhibition coming up that honestly, when I saw it, I said, wow. Spent some time in Italy and know the name. And the name of the exhibition, Rodin, Contemplation and Dreams.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about that, and what did it take to get that here?
Yeah, so the Polk Museum has always aimed to have great shows. We've always drawn wonderful audiences, and we've had wonderful community support. In the past 5 years especially, we've tried to bring in some larger name shows, some masterwork exhibitions, combined with lesser known artists and lesser known areas of the art world. Because we know we have to get people through the doors, certainly, so they can see things that they know and can enjoy before they can discover art they might not know or discover they will enjoy. So something like Rodin, Contemplation and Dreams has been about 3.5 years in the making, which is pretty typical of our exhibition planning time. It takes a long time to bring exhibitions to fruition from the time of either gathering the works for a show, if it's an original exhibition, preparing the concept for a show, if it's an original exhibition, scheduling the show, if it's a traveling exhibition like Rodin is, and just getting all the pieces into play. So Rodin really was something that came across my email inbox years ago, and then through several conversations and actually probably years in between, figuring out whether we could afford it, whether it would be logical for what we could do at the museum, it finally made sense. I think I booked it actually during the kind of the pandemic. So I think finally in either late 2019, but I'm pretty sure during 2020 I booked the show. And then all the pieces just start falling into place. We start scheduling our ideal slot. We make sure that we can actually manage the works in the museum itself. And now, of course, Auguste Rodin is one of the best known artists of all time. not everyone may be familiar with his name, but everyone knows his
work. Yeah.
If anybody knows about The Gates of Hell or The Thinker or The Three Shades are some of his most famous work. But I mean, really, I say, if anybody knows The Thinker, knows Rodin. He is easily the most famous sculptor since Michelangelo. And everyone knows Michelangelo's David. And if you think about The Thinker and you think about Rodin, that's kind of second only to that. So people will walk into the museum to see this exhibition with 45 bronze sculptures and just be absolutely mesmerized by it.
How long is it going to last? What are the hours? How can folks find out more information and really, become more educated about what they're going to see?
Yeah, so Rodin's story is fascinating, and what I hope many people will realize when they come to see this exhibition, and really any exhibition we're running at the museum, I kind of frame them along with my fantastic team as unapologetically educational. I believe everyone wants to learn something. I think everyone wants an intellectual experience, so I pack in a lot of information in addition to our wonderfully staged shows. We have a small team at the museum, but you would think we have like hundreds of people working there based on the fact that everything looks so amazing. The way things are marketed, the way our shop runs, the way our shows are staged. Our preparator, Matt Belcher, single-handedly envisions the way shows look. So people come through and they'll love to look at the art, but I also think it's really important that they know they're going to come away. They can spend hours and hours working their way through this exhibition. So people can come to the museum. During our summer months, we are open from Tuesdays through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then post Labor Day, and the show runs all the way through October 30th. So there's a lot of time to see it, come back and see it, come back and see it again. It's open through October 30th. After Labor Day, we reopen on Sundays from 1 to 4 p.m. So 6 days a week.
Talk to me a little bit about the community partners that, like you said, this is something that's going to cost the museum. Talk about the people that invest back into this community to bring quality of life shows like this to Polk County.
Yeah, I'm glad you phrased it as quality of life shows, because we, those of us who like the arts, and certainly when you have a career based in the arts and you're trying to build students and a community who loves the arts, it really is about the quality of life. I really believe that Polk County would be lacking were it not to have a museum like ours. I believe we're the anchor cultural institution of this county. And in order to make us survive and thrive and be able to maintain that free admission, we really do need that community support. So I get a question a lot, actually. People say, well, why would I be a member of a free museum? Well, you're a member of a museum so that we can pay our salaries, so that we can afford exhibitions like this, so we can keep the lights on, and so that you're actually paying it forward, basically, so other people who maybe can't become members, who can't afford the price of a $20 admission, were it to be that, so that they can actually enjoy the museum. So our community support in general, our members are wonderful. Anybody who walks through the door and donates $1, $10, $20, whatever they might feel like doing, they're supporting the museum and keeping us open and alive. We also have major community partners. Of course, there's Florida Southern College, so that's our affiliate partner, my employer as well, because I'm still a full-time professor at Florida Southern, so still my employer, and certainly the biggest partner we have at the museum, and it's been an incredible partnership because of that. And with each individual exhibition, we have a lot of wonderful sponsors. Our premier sponsor for Rodin, Contemplation and Dreams is the Vodum Foundation, so we're so grateful for them. We're always grateful for the Chow Foundation, who actually is our strategic partner that underwrites the cost of admission, what it would actually be if we were to charge at the door. So we're so grateful to them. And this exhibition itself is a partnership with the Iris and B. Gerald Counter Foundations out of California. This is their collection that is building this exhibition. And that's just a small number of folks who contribute as well. The county, the city of Lakeland. I mean, the list goes on and on. But again, this is truly an endeavor that involves the entire community, a community of people who love art and people who really love our community as well.
Dr. Rich, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing the information. And anytime that you guys would like to come in and talk more art, seat is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we have a lot of things to advertise all the time and get people through the doors of the museum. So we will take you up on that.
The Polk Museum of Art invites you to check out the new exhibit, Rodin, Contemplation and Dreams, through October 30th. Now, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They're located at 800 East Palmetto Street in Lakeland. And if you need more information, you can give them a call at 863-279-6764 or look them up on the web at polkmuseumofart.org.